won't say a waste of time, I don't know what that was, of course, I wish all those plays connected, it's football. It's not going to be perfect all the time.
These are young players that you're so invested in their development, so I'll let the week play out and make a decision later on that.
Breaking information directly from Cleveland. After receiver Jeudy spoke up about the turmoil surrounding the team's quarterback position, the Browns camp just became even noisier. Judy unexpectedly expressed his entire support for Shedeur Sanders, criticizing head coach Kevin Stefanski for his handling of the situation. Judy expressed his confusion about the Browns' continued reluctance to start, particularly with Joe Flacco no longer involved. Fans are already on edge, and the season is already tight, so Stefanski's decision to keep Sanders from being the starting quarterback has further increased the tension.
I got a lot of trust with those guys. Those guys been here since OTAs and since minicamp. They've been doing their thing.
Jeudy continued after that. He went above and beyond to ensure that everyone realized how important Shedeur Sanders has been from the beginning. Judy clarified that Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel have been a fixture in the locker room since OTAs, arriving early, working hard, and establishing the tone. He made it quite evident that Shedeur was deserving of that regard. When the stakes are high and the pressure is genuine, he has shown that he is trustworthy. Judy stated that Sanders will demonstrate to the world why he is deserving of that starting position when the time comes. He believes Shedeur has all the necessary components, talent, motivation, and leadership to lead the Browns to success. Judy didn't recoil when Mary Kay Cabot questioned Shedeur about his assured remarks that he was prepared to play. He gave him his full support. Shedeur has been studying the playbook, learning every detail and mastering every snap like a true pro, Judy said, turning the criticism into praise instead. He has fulfilled all of the coach's requests and more. Because Shedeur has earned the right to speak with confidence when he performs at that level, Judy believes there is nothing wrong with his declaring he is ready.
He's been doing a good job, just understanding the plays, doing whatever the coach asks for him, and he's been doing a great job of just, being a pro and, doing what he needed to do to be able to, once he get his chance, to take advantage of that. So, that's all we could ask for him to do. Once he get his opportunity, just take advantage of it.
However, some are advocating for Shedeur Sanders besides Jeudy. He has Myles Garrett's support as well. The young quarterback received a lot of praise from the Browns' defensive coordinator for his diligence and focus. Garrett emphasized how Shedeur's dedication goes above and beyond the call of duty. He is the type of person who arrives at the establishment before the sun rises and departs well after everyone else has gone to bed. Furthermore, it doesn't end there. Sanders even drives up to the coach's offices by himself and asks what else he can do to stand out from the others.
What's impressive the most on how he's approached the game?
The time he takes, showing up early. Coach's office is easily seen when you walk in the building. And, almost every morning you see him in there, talking through plays, talking through schemes with coach and making sure that he's ready for this moment when he gets called.
Myles Garrett did more than merely yell out. He expressed his sincere admiration for Shedeur Sanders' heart and smile. According to Garrett, Sanders has demonstrated that he is suited for this role by working tirelessly and concentrating. It's uncommon to see a young athlete manage pressure and expectations with that level of composed assurance, he said, praising Shedeur's maturity. Garrett believes that Shedeur's strategy for the game demonstrates dedication and discipline, which should be praised rather than disregarded. However, head coach Kevin Stefanski still won't give him the reins despite all of the affection from the squad leaders. Stefanski continues to pretend that playing Shedeur is risky in an attempt to reassure everyone that everything is under control, but the locker room can sense that he is hesitant. His decisions appear to be more about staying safe than allowing skill to show week after week. He claims Shedeur is too young to bear the pressure and continues bringing up his age as if it were an issue. However, he is giving players like Quinshon Judkins, who hasn't even completed a training camp, reps. That is the reason why people are baffled. Why shouldn't Shedeur be trusted to get a shot if Judkins can do it despite the odds?
Be mindful of our players and our players' development. And, I want to make sure that I'm always doing what's best for our players and, of course, our team.
Dan Orlovsky did not hesitate for one instant. He rushed directly to Kevin Stefanski in the front office of the Browns. He claimed that the fact that Shedeur Sanders hasn't even been selected as QB2 yet is quite disappointing, given that there isn't any genuine competition for the position. Orlovsky demanded answers from ownership over the alleged plan that the Browns had hypnotized before the start of the season, questioning what the team was actually doing. It appears the management completely lost sight of the strategy, which was meant to offer Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur an equal opportunity to establish themselves as the team's future. Orlovsky criticized them for making ambiguous and inconsistent choices, claiming that the team's course seemed to be decided on the spot. Dan Orlovsky didn't hesitate at all. He rushed directly to Kevin Stefanski in the front office of the Browns. He claimed that the fact that Shedeur Sanders hasn't even been selected as QB2 yet is utterly disheartening, particularly given that there isn't any genuine competition for the position. Orlovsky demanded answers from ownership over the alleged plan that the Browns had hypnotized before the start of the season, questioning what the team was actually doing. It appears that management completely lost sight of the strategy, which was meant to offer Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur an equal opportunity to establish themselves as the team's future. Orlovsky criticized them for making ambiguous and inconsistent choices, claiming that the team's course seemed to be decided on the spot.
I do think it's disappointing. I do think it's a question of why not? We've gone through this. Okay, Gabriel, if it's not Shedeur, because we know it's very much so pointing to the future in Cleveland, what's going on that Shedeur hasn't done enough or shown enough or displayed himself enough to be the backup quarterback in a season where we all know it's only about any of those?
As the Shedeur-Sanders situation reaches a breaking point, the pressure in Cleveland is mounting. The calls from supporters and commentators for Kevin Stefanski to quit waiting and eventually take action are growing louder every day. Supporters of Shedeur are not requesting preferential treatment. All they want is for his talent to be fully realized. However, if Stefanski keeps him on the sidelines, the Browns will be held accountable for keeping a player who has done everything correctly, not Shedeur. The clock is ticking, and frustration is increasing quickly. The Browns will be held accountable for stifling Shedeur's career before it even takes off if they continue to drag this out. Cleveland fans and observers are now fixated on the team's response to the quarterback crisis which has taken center stage in the city. Stars like Myles Garrett and Jeudy have publicly endorsed Sanders for his maturity, passion, and work ethic, but Stefanski still won't pull the trigger and give him the QB1 shot. The league as a whole is taking notice of his hesitancy. Shedeur has fulfilled all of the requirements. He studies cinema, plays like a man born to lead, arrives early and stays late. He has gained the respect of the supporters and the faith of his teammates. However, Stefanski continues to employ justifications based on experience and youth. Quinshon Judkins and other players who hardly had time to prepare are already receiving their opportunities. Things start to appear really wobbly at that point. The tension is rising quickly, and the city can sense it. If the Browns can risk anything on other players, why not on the quarterback who has already shown he is ready? Instead of another press conference full of justifications, fans demand action. Everyone is aware that Stefanski is under extreme strain. Because Shedeur's growth won't be the only thing impacted if this continues. It might destroy the future and the team's cohesion. The Browns must now determine if they are willing to waste potential or take improvement seriously. Senator Sanders has fulfilled his obligation. Now is the moment for the franchise to take action. They run a greater risk of losing him than a young quarterback if they continue benching him. As a group that professes to support player growth, they jeopardize their credibility. Officially, Stefanski has the ball in his court, and his performance now might have a long-term impact on the Browns. So, what do you think? Is Stefanski being overly cautious, or is Cleveland losing its next big star because of this outright stubbornness? Could Shedeur's future change sooner rather than later, given the Raiders' alleged interest? Leave a comment below with your opinions. I'd like to know your thoughts.